Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Mareta Threads. In today's tutorial, we are making this bag. If you're new here, please don't think that most of my tutorials look like today's tutorial, because today's tutorial is a little bit more of like a hodgepodge, because you just really have to pivot to make things work when you're working with leather. And it's just going to come down to your machine and how thick of a leather you're working with is. I got my leather from Leffler Leathers. I ordered 8 square feet of leather, and the leather that I worked with was just about 1 mil thickness, and it wasn't too dense. So I found this one really easy to work with. I did this on my industrial grade sewing machine, but I did also have a go on my domestic and it went through absolutely fine, no problem. So as long as you have like a decent domestic machine, you should be able to get through it. So let's get into the tutorial. To begin, only print page 1 and use the measuring box to measure 1 centimeter or 1 inch so that you know everything is to scale. Once it is, then you can print out the remaining pages, and then because I have a cutting mat, I like to stack all my pages together and I remove the right hand border and the bottom hand border, but you can also just do this manually with scissors. Now, if you're familiar with my patterns, you can probably just skip ahead because you know how to assemble this, but essentially you just get those little arrows to connect to create an X, and then you reinforce that with little tabs of sticky tape. Once you've done the little tabs of tape and you know that the pattern is aligning nicely, that's when you go in with the longer lengths of tape. From there, obviously self-explanatory, just cut out the sewing pattern, and I also like to cut out the little holes and notches in the belt. Now for this project, you're going to need 8 square feet of leather. So that will be written as 8 SQFT. So not square meters, square feet. In this sewing pattern, I did also include a grain line so that you know which direction to cut your fabric depending on what you're using. But if you're using leather, you're not going to have a grain line, and just cut it whichever way it is best plotted on your leather. Now I actually messed this up because I just used the sewing pattern to cut out my straps completely, forgetting that the belt buckle that I bought was actually a 38 millimeter internal diameter. And so just round that up to like 40 millimeters, which is 4 centimeters. So I had to recut the belt down to 4 centimeters so that it could fit my belt buckle. I am not lining this bag because the leather is too thick for me to have that many layers. It just wouldn't work. And because it's leather, I can kind of get away with it. Now grab your first piece and decide which side is the good side. I decided that the good side is the one that's facing me, and then I'm going to get my second layer and I'm going to find the good side, which is that side, and I'm going to flip it over and make sure that the good sides are kissing each other. Now I can't pin the fabric together because it'll puncture holes, so if you have clips, use those instead. And we are going to close off the side seams with a 1 centimeter seam allowance, so let's take that across to our machine. Now I'm filming this on my heavy duty industrial grade machine because I like the viewpoint when I'm filming with tutorials. However, I was able to sew this whole thing as well on my domestic machine, which is a heavy duty Singer. Now the benefit of using a heavy duty Singer or just like a domestic machine as well is because it'll also have a walking foot. I swapped out my sewing foot here for a Teflon foot because it works easier. If you don't want to spend the money, you can just put Scotch tape on the bottom of your sewing foot. Okay, now let's watch that back again because I have things to explain. So when I sew with leather, I always start from the bottom center and I work my way out. My sewing feed dogs keep the fabric flat, but the top layer always gets stretched out. So I then like to move my fabric to the other side of the machine because it just balances out. I'll show you again. Okay. So I am sewing on the right side of everything, but I know underneath everything is fine, but the top is being pulled forward. Like, can you see that there? See how that they're not perfectly matching up, but they will match up as I get closer to the end. See, I told you so. It's because of the pressure of my sewing foot, and it's compressing my fabric and stretching it out. And also because the fabric is so thick, I am often guiding it through just a little bit. So I'm starting on one of the right sides now. It's left or right, I don't know. But I'm starting on the side and I'm maintaining my 1 centimeter seam allowance. But as I get about halfway through, I'm going to stop and I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to move over to the other side. Now, there are ways around this by tinkering with your machine, but I hate changing my settings, so this is what I do. It's definitely cheating. Now, if you were working with a walking foot, you probably wouldn't be encountering these issues, but here are just tips in case you don't have all the tools, which most people don't. And obviously just remember that it is a 1 centimeter seam allowance. So halfway here, let's have a look at the bottom of this and see where it's lining up. So the top has overgrown the bottom a little bit. With a bit of finesse though, they do end up lining up. Now on the sewing pattern, you will notice on the left and right hand side seams that there are little markers of the opening. Now the opening is where we're going to put our strap. My strap, remember, is 4 centimeters, 40 millimeters, whichever. So from the center of that seam, I'm going to go 2 centimeters one way, 2 centimeters the other way, so that in total I have a little rectangular box that is 1 centimeter by 4 centimeters. Now, if I was using a lining, I would have made this like a really beautiful seamless opening, but this is leather. It's very fly by the seat of your pants. Now, once you've done that for both the left and right side seam, we're going to cut open a line within that little rectangular box because we're going to feed our straps through that. Before the straps though, we need to make the bottom of the bag. Now, if you don't know how to do this process and you need to see it in a little bit more detail, click the top right hand corner link forward to this timestamp where I explain it. However, if you already know how to do it, this is all you need to know. Have a look at the sewing pattern. If you measure out the sewing pattern, it's going to measure at 13 centimeters. So let's do that on the bag. At the top point, 1 centimeter. The middle point of the side seams will be 6.5, and the bottom point will be 13 centimeters. And because I can't pin this, I'm just going to pick that up and take it straight across to the machine. So start with a back tack, which is forward and back, and then just make sure with those side seams, the top one is facing forward and the under one is facing the other way. Go slowly and guide this through. I got a little bit cocky here and tried to back tack over that middle, and you'll see a broken needle in front of you because of that mistake. So slow and steady, and do that to the other corner as well. Okay, cute. That is what you should be left with. That is done. Move it to the side. Picking up this part of the strap and the template, if your template is the exact same width as the actual strap you're doing, you can just accurately trace it. But if not, you do want to make sure that you are marking right in the center. Now, I have this leather hole puncher that I bought years ago from Spotlight because I'm always starting new activities and I keep buying new things. However, this was actually a good purchase. I find it really useful because when you even just have normal leather belts that you wear for day to day, like you just have something to punch a little hole in, like it's done me well over the years. So I'm just using that to create the outline, and it was a little bit messy. So I did clean it up with the scissors, but it gave me the initial shape. Now, as I said before, my template and my actual pattern piece aren't the exact same width. So I am finding the center point so that I can draw a line with it there. And then once I've done that, then I can just transpose those little holes onto my pattern piece. And from there, you can just proceed to cut it all out and then use the leather hole puncher again. You're then going to pick this piece back up, grab your belt buckle and feed through, what is that thing called? The prong. Feed through the prong through that hole, and we're going to stitch this together. Now, I probably took too much artistic license when I was joining this together because usually you will do that little X when you're attaching a strap to a bag. So I went a little early on that. However, the thickness looked really good and it made me decide that I would double up the leather for that main component of the strap, just because with the leather that I was using, it was good, but it just wasn't thick enough. And obviously a lot of weight is going to be carried on that main strap. So I just brought that layer across to the machine and joined it together, and then I cut away the excess just because it's easier to do it like that. From there, I then re-punched all of the holes and it was looking really good. Now the last step is this little belt loop. So I kind of just measured it, making sure that it's loose, because remember that our thick belt has to be fed through that later. So don't make it too tight, but then once it's done, slide it on and push it to the top. From there, you're going to get your bag and you're going to feed it through the little hole that we made. Also make sure that when you are installing this, that you have your belt buckle facing the right way. Okay, this is what yours should look like. Hold it in place, bring it across to your sewing machine. So across to our sewing machine, I just want to make sure that this is perfectly in place. And I'm making sure that those side seams have been left open. Go slow and go quite close to the top, and then I'm just going to backstitch that and take it out. So I've just flipped that now to the good side. This is currently the good side of the fabric, so you need to make sure that your stitch work that you're doing here is nice and neat and clean, because it's going to be visible. So this is also the point where I should have saved that little X thing that I did on the rectangle, but that's okay. It's not really that noticeable. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to just make sure that this is perfectly in place. Go slow and just sew down the perimeter. Now I'm going to sew over that little slit because I want to adhere that little belt strap to that bag. I don't want that to be open. So we're essentially sewing it closed, sorry. I would say the seam allowance here is probably about 1/2 centimeter or 5/8 of an inch, and I am going quite close. So as I near that edge, I stop about 1/2 centimeter away so that I can pivot the fabric. And I go straight up to the top so that I can finish off my little rectangle. Now, leave that needle down and you're going to spin the fabric around again, and I close off that stitch. Oh my God, I did not do the X thing. That's a bit silly. I should have done 2 diagonal stitches to do an X thing. Oh well, you get the idea. My bad. Anyway, pretend that I did that little X thing to it. Perfect. Let's move on to the other side. Okay, so get the other belt strap and feed that through from the good side into the bad side. And then take that across to the sewing machine. All right, let's do a better job of explaining this one. So I am going to start from the center because I want to make sure that it's in perfect alignment. So I'm starting right on that center seam and the seams are open. I'm doing a 1/2 centimeter seam allowance or 5/8 of an inch. And as I get 5/8 or 1/2 centimeter away from the edge, that's when I put my needle down and I rotate the fabric. No, you know what? That's wrong. I should have only done the top stitch and then I should have turned the bag inside out so that I was currently working on the outside of the bag, which is the good side of the bag, because the strap is visible on the good side or outside of the bag. And so you want to make sure that your stitch lines are really neat and working well with that strap. However, you know what? At least with this side, I finally righted my wrongs and I did do that little X thing to really secure the strap to the bag. I'm purposely going to leave my mistakes in this video because by seeing my mistakes, it'll probably actually help you avoid the mistakes that I made. Anyway, it's done. The bag is finished. Turn it inside out, push out those seams, and from there you can just feed the strap through the buckle to a length that you like. That is the end of the tutorial. I really hope that was helpful. So please enjoy the sewing ahead and I will see you in the next part.